Good morning. Welcome back to Lower Keys Living, everybody. This is this morning's first day of mini season catch. They are clean, cooked, and everything all done before 10 o'clock this morning. I managed to get up really early, get in the water before the crowds got out. If you haven't seen this before, this is my stand-up paddleboard. This was actually shot at a different time. Was not this morning because it was dark out this morning, and the sun was just starting to lighten up the sky when I went out this morning. But wanted to show you the paddleboard. I'll give you some shots on the water with this. But give you a shot on it. If you haven't seen the video before, I've got the Live stand-up paddleboard. It is a kayak paddleboard. I love stand-up paddleboarding, but I am not the most graceful person. My balance is horrible. But this thing, it's like walking up and down a sidewalk. It's that stable. Love it. They are pricey. I got lucky. I won this paddleboard in a silent auction a year and a half ago, and have been so happy with it. Best bid in a silent auction I've ever made for such a great deal. But love this. This is a little guy that got tossed back, but went around checking some things out this morning on my way to my spot. Caught this little guy napping along the way. Wasn't quite up and about and ready to get going yet this morning. And here, just scouting a couple of my spots before I actually start lobstering, looking to see what's out here. I was really happy with the large number of lobsters, both good sized ones and little guys that by the end of lobster season, mid to lobster season, they'll be legal. But again, finding these, and these ledges are some of my favorite places to lobsters. When I find a cave-in ledge like this, a lot of times I don't bother with the net or tickle stick. This is perfectly set up just to use my gloved hands. You can reach in these over the top of the lobster. You can back them up or put your palm down to keep them from coming out and just grab your fingers around them, because these holes aren't quite big enough for them to get away from you and back into too far. Only once in the years of lobster doing this, I've reached in, grabbed a lobster, and got grabbed by a stone crab that was in there at the same time. So painful learning experience. So I've learned to look a little bit. But again, these are just some of my favorite places to lobster out here. I was really stunned. I want to add, got out here early. Like I said, I was out to my spots by 6:30 this morning. Sun hadn't gotten quite up in the sky yet, but it was just getting light out. But I have never seen so many boats heading out to go lobstering out here in Cudjoe Bay. Shooting out the bay, I could tell people in bigger boats were heading out to the Atlantic, people in the flats boat going out under Bow Channel to go out to the Gulf side. And some people heading out around to the Sawyer Key, Content Keys area. But man, it was busy. Also made me glad I had the Live paddleboard because it was stable, because there were so many weeks that I was paddling through. A standard paddleboard, I'd have been on my ass and in the water. But again, just scouting these areas out before I start grabbing lobsters and getting my catch for the day. But again, like I said, I was really happy to see how many lobsters were out here this morning. Talked to some friends, a number of people that went out bully netting here in the bay last night. Sounds like they all did really well, got their limits bully netting after midnight last night, which is just super to hear. Glad to see people are having fun getting their catch down there. That's a really nice guy sitting right there. Had to watch out for him. There's a little sea urchin tucked in behind him. So when I do my lobsters, I cook the whole lobster, and I'll show you what I do. There's so much meat, especially some of my favorite meat is up just, especially on the big ones, at the base of their antenna. And this is one of the easiest ways to clean lobster, get them completely clean, get the intestines out, super easy. So I do keep them alive in the bucket until I get back to the dock. It's in case I come across a big guy on my way back in. Even though I've got my limit, I can throw a little one back, keep a bigger one. But I keep them alive, but then I do euthanize them with my fish knife right through the brain and the top at the dock, and I also snap their big antennas off. By doing that, when I get in, I leave them upside down on my sink. It drains the bulk of the water and fluids out of them. Makes this part of it a lot cleaner, a lot less messier, a lot less stuff running off. But there is still some liquid, hence the paper towel there to grab stuff so it doesn't run off the cutting board and onto my floor. But again, I just split these guys in half. You can see some of the gunk that's up there. But again, it's a quick rinse under the sink, and you can use your glove, just pull all of that stuff. The intestines come right out. Leaves you a really nice, clean lobster. And if you watched my other videos, again, the big ones I like cooking whole. Like all the ones today I cooked whole because there's so much meat up in that carapace. Hate wasting that. When I do get smaller lobsters, and I'm not going to cook the carapace and I'm just doing the lobster tails, if you know, I still keep that carapace. I put them in a big Ziploc bag, freeze them. Then I will mash those up, put those bits into another plastic bag or a small plastic bucket, fill it with water so it's good and frozen, and then I add that mix to my chum bag. It's nice, the lobster meat, the lobster shells tend to drop to the bottom, and it brings those bigger fish in, grouper, the big mutton snappers, hogfish love that lobster meat, and it really helps draw those in right underneath my boat whenever I'm out fishing the reef. And again, you see, I just split these right in half, all the way down on the bottom side. Nice thing about this, when you do this and you split that bottom, and you'll see when I flip this guy over, it just splits right along that bottom cut. Makes it so much easier to cut and split these right in half. If you try and cut the top, you know, for some reason I don't want to give, but you see, knife goes right through and doesn't really go through. It just splits that carapace and the lobster tail right along where you cut on the softer bottom side. So makes it really easy to do this. And again, you'll see I can just rinse these right out, clean these out, and get them all lined up on my baking sheet. And you can't really tell from that video, got a poor angle on that, just how much meat is up in the carapace and tucked in right behind that antenna. But that meat at the base of the antenna is so sweet, and it's some of the best meat on the lobsters. So I get these, got my whole catch split, cleaned up this way, got them all lined up on the baking sheet. So there's this morning's catch all ready to go. Now I prep these before they go in the oven. So I coat everything with butter, give them a good coating. That really helps set the flavor in, adds a little bit of saltiness to the lobster meat on there, and it really helps crisp that top layer of skin up to give it just a bit of a crunch when you're done broiling it, when you go to eat these things. So give them a light coating of butter all the way through all the pieces, all the exposed meat. I make sure I get coated with that butter. And you'll see I just go around, do this. I melt the butter on top of the stove, and a quick little coating all the way through all the lobsters this morning. And I had forgotten how much I had missed my lobster meat. Ran out of my lobsters in the freezer about a month ago. I've been waiting for this day to get back out and getting lobsters. While you're watching this, when I'm going through this, you're going to see I season these with a seasoned garlic salt to add a little more flavor to it. That paprika I add because I love the taste of paprika, especially when you broil it. It tends to brown up and smoke up a little bit. I just love that smoky, peppery taste that it adds to the lobsters. Use it if you like it. Some people don't like paprika, so at your option, feel free to season your lobster this way any way you like. But again, quickest, cleanest way to get your lobsters prepped and ready for baking, and a super easy way to get these cooked up. Say if you got out this morning, you're out lobstering, got your catch in, let me know how it went. Would love to hear how you did today. Please leave me a message down below. Let us know how you did. If you want to share an area that you're at, you don't need to give specifics, please don't. But hey, share where you went, how things went, and if you found my other videos helpful, would love to hear that. Again, I cook these on high, broil them for 19 minutes for the big ones, 15 minutes for smaller ones, and get these in the oven. And I do put these in, I move my top rack down so it's one rung below the middle rack to keep them away from the broiler a little bit so they don't get too burned while I'm broiling these. Gives them time to cook all the way through. All right, so that 19 minutes is up. They are cooked all the way through. Time to pull these out of the broiler. You get to see what these look like coming on out. And trying not to burn myself, which I inherently do every single time. Managed not to do it this time. But again, there you go. That is a full rack of lobsters. You can see we are 10 o'clock in the morning. I've caught, cleaned, chilled, prepped, and baked these lobsters. and they are going to be ready to go for today's dinner. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next weekend on Lower Keys Living. Thanks again.